As our mission focuses on working collaboratively to reduce racial and economic segregation, it is important to be intentional in describing how we pursue those goals. Desegregation or housing integration are both terms that can call to mind policies that many feel are prescriptive or cause displacement or imposed on a community versus created in partnership with it. As the director of this organization, I think it is especially important to share how we orient our focus on that mission. We see our role as helping shed new light on these issues through research that organizations and communities can use to inform policymakers and advocate for change. We see our role as servant leaders, creating programs and partnerships that confront racial inequities and break down systemic barriers, not prescribing what an individual's choices should be. That work needs to be inclusive and responsive to communities we hope to serve in order to achieve meaningful progress. Households of color and single parents in particular are disproportionately represented and affected by the harmful cycle of evictions. Nearly 8 million low-income renters in our country spend more than half of their income on housing costs. We're excited about the partnerships, research, and programs we are already developing, but we have so much more we are eager to accomplish, and we hope to hear from new partners across the country who want to pursue new strategies, engage in multi-sector collaboration, and help us create new programs and policy recommendations that can drive meaningful change.
So the Family Assistance Program, or FamAP, seeks to provide an intervention prior to the eviction filing, stopping the cycle of hardship and trauma that really result from residential displacement. Our country is experiencing an eviction crisis that was really only compounded during the pandemic. Between 2000 and 2016, 61 million eviction filings were made in the United States alone. Housing stability should not be a privilege, it should absolutely be a human right.
Along with my calls, I am doing some of the behind the scenes work with our data. So tracking loan performances, seeing how our loans have been able to stabilize people over time, and then also just post-assistance, where are the people that we've served? Are they still in their units? Were they able to save up some money and get stable enough to then move out of their unit and get a home? Just finding the trends amongst the people that we're serving and how consistently people are able to keep up with things once they get that 1 or 2 months of assistance just to help them get by when they're in a difficult position. The pandemic actually changed a little bit of our program model, which has led to some really interesting trends. During the time that the moratorium was in place and there were care dollars coming through the door that we were able to send people to, we temporarily placed people in a holding pattern, which asked them to just go and apply for some of those federal dollars first, as we are an independent nonprofit program, and utilizing those dollars while we had them was really important. And the great part about our holding process is that even though we're not able to assist them at that very moment, it keeps them protected from being evicted for however long is needed. So if they need 2 months before they were able to get the federal assistance dollars, they would be protected for that 2 months, which would allow them to save up. It would allow them to spend some time to buy a lot of the necessary things that they might need, like food or clothing. And then even if they weren't able to get that federal assistance, we were able to take them back in and give them assistance.
The Limited Voucher Program, or LVP, was created out of emerging patterns really during the FamAP intake process, where tenants just could not be stabilized by our traditional 1 to 2 months of assistance. We rolled out this program when a single mother living in Alabama reached out to us, seeking assistance multiple times. Not only was she impacted by the pandemic, but Hurricane Sally then hit down there in September. Both of her children have significant medical challenges, and she was trying to navigate hospital appointments, bills, her place of employment closing, and just a general lack of resources. We were able to provide her with a 6-month limited rental voucher that covered a portion of her rent while she navigated transitioning to a more affordable unit, which she is in now, stabilizing her children's health, and finding new employment. We continue to operate this program on an as-needed basis with existing partners. The Limited Voucher Program Mobility, or LVPM, is a newer program we've launched just this summer. While HUD operates a federal housing choice voucher program, waitlists for qualified tenants can take years. In Indiana alone, it can take up to 2 years just to be selected from the waitlist to determine your eligibility. We have sought out housing partners with an intent to offer mobility options to tenants seeking to move to an area of opportunity. We will provide a 12-month voucher with a primary focus on households with children and work to reduce any barriers that might otherwise prevent their move. We continue to expand our partners and look forward to continued growth of this program this year.